Welcome to this explainer. I'm absolutely thrilled to be your guide today because we're diving straight into something super important: the strategic framework for securely navigating and thriving in the business landscape of Bangladesh. Look, whether you're an investor, an importer, or a huge multinational corporation looking to expand, the opportunities out there are just massive. But as with any major venture, getting it right requires the right intelligence. So today, we're going to unpack exactly how Trade and Investment Bangladesh, or TNIB, provides that absolutely critical intelligence. Okay, let's dive into this. What if your new international partner doesn't actually exist? Honestly, it sounds like a plot from a corporate thriller, doesn't it? But in our highly interconnected, digital-first world, this is a very real thing. Companies are constantly meeting online, hashing out negotiations over email, and transferring huge sums of advance payments globally, literally without ever stepping foot in the same country. You might get a highly attractive proposal from a supplier, but what if they aren't who they say they are? What if that factory is literally just a phantom? Because here's the harsh reality of modern global business. A slick website, a professional-looking logo, and some neatly formatted digital PDFs, they are absolutely not a substitute for verified on-the-ground reality. Seriously, a polished company profile can be whipped up by anyone in a single afternoon. Real-world credibility, on the other hand, requires actual physical existence, proven operational capacity, and financial stability. If you're not independently verifying your partners, you are taking a massive, totally unnecessary gamble with both your capital and your reputation. To make sure you never have to take that gamble, here's our roadmap for today's explainer. First, we'll look at the Bangladesh business boom. Second, the hidden digital risks. Third, illuminating commercial due diligence. Fourth, mapping with market research. And finally, the TNIB advantage. Section 1. The Bangladesh business boom. So, there's a very good reason foreign capital is flooding into this region. The potential here is vast, and it's incredibly diverse. We aren't just talking about a single industry economy anymore. I mean, while Bangladesh is famously a global powerhouse in ready-made garments and textiles, there are tremendous, really lucrative opportunities exploding across pharmaceuticals, ICT, leather, agro-processing, logistics, and even renewable energy. Hundreds of thousands of registered businesses, from vibrant local SMEs to massive multinational corporations, are operating here, creating this highly dynamic environment for joint ventures, strategic partnerships, and serious foreign investment. Section 2. The hidden digital risks. Now, what's really interesting about this next part is that every incredible business opportunity naturally carries a shadow of risk. And in a booming market like this, inexperienced operators and, yeah, bad actors often try to capitalize on all that influx of foreign interest. It's remarkably easy for foreign investors to get deceived if they're relying purely on digital communication. You could literally be looking at photos of a bustling factory floor that were actually taken 10 years ago, or worse, belong to an entirely different company altogether. Sometimes businesses might genuinely exist, but they heavily overstate their production capacity or slap on fake certifications, or they might win your contract and quietly outsource the production without telling you. Without independent local verification on the ground, it's incredibly difficult from overseas to tell the difference between a highly reliable manufacturer and just a fly-by-night operator. Section 3. Illuminating commercial due diligence. And this is exactly why experienced international businesses never, ever finalize important commercial agreements based purely on assumptions. So let's clarify what commercial due diligence actually is. It goes way beyond your standard financial audit or a basic legal check, right? Because a company's books might look perfectly balanced on paper, but the real question is, can they actually manufacture 10,000 units of your product to your exact quality standards by next Tuesday? Commercial due diligence, or CDD, is a systematic, independent, evidence-based assessment of a company's real-world operational capability, their actual business legitimacy, and their true market reputation. Trade and Investment Bangladesh offers a really comprehensive suite of these customized services. Basically, they scrutinize every single angle. They're out there performing physical factory and warehouse inspections to assess the machinery, the production lines, and the actual quality control processes. They evaluate potential distributors to ensure they've actually got the warehousing and the sales force to properly market your product. And crucially, they run deep business reputation assessments, because sometimes finding out how a company is actually perceived by its own local suppliers and customers tells you way more about the reliability than a financial spreadsheet ever could. Let's move to see how this builds, because all these services fit into a highly structured methodology. The TNIB process doesn't just dump a pile of raw data on your desk. It transforms facts into actionable strategy.
It kicks off with defining your specific scope and objectives, then moves into intensive desktop research combined with that vital on-the-ground field verification. After that, they conduct a thorough risk analysis, and it all culminates in professional strategic recommendations. They don't just tell you what they found, they spell out exactly what those facts actually mean for your business decisions going forward.
Section 4. Mapping with Market Research.
Okay, so now that we know how to verify the partner, we really need to understand the environment itself. If commercial due diligence is how you check the specific partner you're working with, market research is how you check the overall terrain you're stepping into. Are you even targeting the right demographic? What are the actual local regulatory barriers? Who are your main competitors in Bangladesh? Good market research steps in to systematically collect factual information and replace those dangerous assumptions with hard, actionable market intelligence. And this brilliantly illustrates the point. Entering a new, foreign market without properly researched intelligence is exactly like wandering around a massive, unfamiliar city without a map or a GPS on your phone. Sure, you might eventually stumble upon your destination, but man, you're going to waste an incredible amount of time, burn through your resources, and probably hit quite a few dead ends along the way. Quality market research? That gives you the map. To build that map, TNIB gathers a powerful arsenal of intelligence that is specifically tailored to your objectives. They're analyzing industry growth trends and digging into competitor pricing strategies. They evaluate local consumer purchasing behaviors so you understand exactly what the market actually demands right now. They even map out the most effective distribution channels for you, whether that's modern retail trade or jumping into emerging e-commerce opportunities. All of this data directly fuels a robust, winning market entry strategy that just significantly boosts your probability of commercial success.
Section 5. The T&IV Advantage.
So why should you specifically choose Trade and Investment Bangladesh, founded by entrepreneur and international trade specialist MD Joinal Abdeen, as your local guide? Well, bridging the gap between foreign capital and local reality requires highly specific boots-on-the-ground expertise. Think about it. Differences in language, business culture, and local regulatory procedures make it incredibly tough to accurately assess a partner from 1,000 miles away. TNIB provides the edge here because they act as a totally independent, objective consultant, but with a massive professional network built right there in Bangladesh. They treat all client information with super strict confidentiality, and they blend deep local market knowledge with high international business standards. They're not just handing you raw facts. They deliver practical, actionable recommendations you can actually use.
But hey, you don't just have to take their word for it, because international peers already highly trust this process. Take it from Mostafizer Rahman, founder and CEO of CanBiz Inc. over in Canada, who noted that TNIB's commitment to quality execution and ethical practice makes them a highly reliable partner for sustainable growth. They provide real strategic insight and hands-on support. They're recognized not just as consultants, but as long-term strategic partners for entrepreneurs, SMEs, and huge global corporations alike.
So, the crucial point is this. In the fast-paced realm of international trade, knowing beats guessing every single time. Assumptions can cost you your investment, disrupt your supply chain, and permanently damage your brand's reputation. Verified information, on the other hand, that empowers you to negotiate from a position of absolute strength, to protect your hard-earned investments, and to build genuinely resilient partnerships. So before you commit your capital or sign that next big contract in Bangladesh, you've really got to ask yourself, are you relying on assumptions, or are you armed with verified intelligence? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and here's to making smarter, highly informed business decisions going forward.